What's going on, guys? It's Muscular Thumbs. Now let me ask you a very personal and serious question. Do you like money? Because if you do, then you came to the right place. Let's make some money. This is a super short video, hence the quick tips part of it, so I won't go into a lot of advanced techniques or tips to truly get you rich in the game. I might do it later down the road, but this video should serve as an introduction on how to make money to get your funded life started on DFO. Section 1. Farming. Let's start with the most obvious advice, and that is farming. For those new to an MMO genre, farming is just the concept of running a single area repeatedly for specific drops, and it's the easiest and most well-known way of making money in a game. Before I begin, I want to talk about classes first. Choosing a class, especially if you want to make some early game funds, is important. For example, picking Ranger as your first class would be suicidal because of how extremely funded they need to be in order to play them to their potential. Otherwise, trying to grind dungeons as a Ranger will be really painful. There are certain classes in this game that I would consider to be farming classes. These are the classes that do not require much funding at all to get started with and normally face roll through dungeons. These classes are normally fully fixed classes. To give some examples, Witches, Chaos, Creator, etc. would be a great choice for our farming class. Now you don't need to go this far to farm, but it would make life a lot easier. If you don't decide to pick a farming class, that's fine too, but here's the tricky part. What do you farm and where do you look to farm? This is where the auction house comes into play. You need to figure out on your own what goods are going for what. Prices change often, and what people want change too. If you become adept at keeping track of this sort of information, you will be rich. For example, nihilistic stones used to go for a ton, and dailies used to give them out like hotcakes. So for people paying attention, they would complete their dailies that you would get a Ghent and sell the nihilistic stones for a nice profit. Now that's a farming technique. Endless Eternities are selling for a lot due to the Forgotten Land update that just came out when I created this video. So the smart idea would have been to sell all your Endless Eternities for a nice profit. Maybe if you're watching this much later on in the future, Endless Eternities are worthless. Just keep an eye out and see what sells. Then farm for those goods and sell them. You'll make quite a bit of money through that route. There's also farming for unique armor and weapons that sell for a lot on the auction house. But this is something I consider to be advanced farming. This guide is for new players, so I would recommend not doing this until you're comfortable and are adept at making money through materials. Grinding for uniques is a harder challenge and requires patience and the knowledge of where you're most likely gonna get the drop. An example of a unique that sells for a lot of money on the market would be the Chills or Blue Bone Dragon. Both those weapons can be farmed. Then there is the Tower of Despair farming. Having multiple characters above level 70 and doing Tower of Despair every day without fail will net you an amazing amount of money long term. Each epic pop will sell for a lot, and as of right now, you can sell them for 30 million apiece. Kazin, a friend of ours, farms Tower of Despair with many characters and sells epic pots like hotcakes. Suffice to say, he has earned quite a bit of money through this route. This is also what I consider to be an advanced farming technique. Tower of Despair is definitely not an easy task. Before I move on to the second and last section, you should also try to grind your way to level 60 and unlock an account safe. An account-wide safe is extremely useful for transferring funds and materials to alts. It's basically imperative if you want to eventually become rich in this game. Section 2. Buy low, sell high. As I've mentioned several times already, I won't be going into super advanced techniques for buy low, sell high. Let's just focus on the basics. First, the best way for a new player to make money in this game is through keeping track of the materials market. The materials market will always be on demand for quests and other functions in the game. I'll list a few so you're aware of them. Nihilistic Stone Fragments, Chaos Stone Fragments, Empress Scardi, Emperor Helms, Endless Eternities, Any-Colored Cubes, Demon Challenges, Alchemist Potions, Animators Animations. The last two items I listed aren't really items, but more of a group of items. The animator and alchemist profession can make a lot of money as long as you level them up and sell what's on demand. Sewer Princess Ferris and Sacred Blessings, for example, can sell for a nice amount. The key here is to search up these materials and keep track of their prices for a few days over the course of a few hours. If you notice a trend or sometime they start to sell for really low, your job would be to buy them up and eventually sell them at higher prices. It's all about being aware of the current market trends. Information is power. Before I end the video, I'll give you a word of caution. Messing up in this section can spell a loss of money. You need to be careful and be aware and basically don't take risks that you can't handle. Making money isn't easy and it requires patience and prudence. Don't get too greedy, play it smart, and you should be fine. Hope you enjoyed this video. I'm feeling pretty hungry, yada yada, I'ma get a sub. If you like a full guide on all the advanced techniques and tips I didn't really elaborate on, let me know. Deuces!